Imagine the stress. Her mother has cancer, her daughter is sick. All she wants to do is use her own time to take care of her mother. Her employer finally lets her, but sticks a disciplinary letter in her hand. Her job is stressful also. Her truck has to make 100 stops a day. Federal Express gives a money-back guarantee if a package is not delivered before 10:30 a.m. Drivers are required to deliver packages within 3 minutes of each other during the morning. From the time they hand one customer a package, they only have 3 minutes to get to the next package delivered. This is not only stressful, but raises serious safety issues because it requires the drivers to drive as fast as possible to get to the next stop. If a driver takes more time than the company requires, they can be denied performance pay or get a letter that they're not working up to par, or it could lead to a disciplinary letter. The pressure is intense. The companies ask drivers to shorten their time between deliveries and ask for them to get there at 90% the time that they had last year, and are asking for it to be done in only 87% of the time this year. They can only drive so fast. Elizabeth Tucker has been working hard for Federal Express, driving and meeting the demands of her employer for many years now. She's trying to meet her family needs also. She's doing her best. Bill Chafin lives in Indianapolis, has a wife and 2 children, a boy and a girl. Served 6 years in the Navy, enlisted. He's a Vietnam-era veteran. Working for Federal Express for 13 years. Truck driver, and works with another 125 truck drivers at his shop. He's very proud of his work. He worked 96 hours one week, did everything to build the company, did everything asked to do, did whatever it took to get the job done. Now the focus is all on profits, not people, he says. They've been reducing the hours, hiring more and more part-time, temporary employees, no pay raise for many years. But pay isn't the only issue. Bill was chairman of the safety committee in his shop, and there were numerous workplace injuries and accidents. Most of these resulted from the requirement to meet very, very strict time deadlines. People injured themselves trying to meet these deadlines. People also got into car accidents trying to meet the deadlines. Bill talked about the danger created by drivers who had to make the 10:30 money-back deadline. He said that from 10:15 to 10:30 every morning, people's lives are in danger as drivers go as fast as possible to meet the deadline. He said if a driver is late, he could get written up or he could lose his job. These drivers have families. They cannot afford to lose their jobs. Unfortunately, that means people get injured, and it means that there are truck accidents. Bill heard about these at the safety committee meetings he attended. Remember one meeting in particular in '93 when a truck driver in Chicago was trying to meet a 10:30 deadline, and it was about 10:28 or 29, and the driver was trying to find the address of his next stop, and he didn't see a 70-year-old woman crossing the road, and the driver hit her. After listening to this report at a safety meeting, Bill quit the committee. Pay is important, and Bill wants better pay and benefits, but Bill also wants a safe workplace and wants a voice to talk about these issues. He wants to organize. He served his country in the Navy. He's a good and loyal employee. He's worked hard to support his family. He just does not understand why the United States Senate would help his employer prevent him from joining with his fellow workers. Rasran Aman has a wife and a 21-month-old daughter, truck driver in Washington, D.C., works with 300 other truck drivers. He's been with Federal Express since 1992, but he's considered a senior employee because his turnover is so high. Started as a part-time employee with Federal Express. When he was part-time, he was sick with the chicken pox. The company had no disability benefits for part-time employees. He had only 5 sick days. After they started to organize the company, after he started to organize in the company began a short-time disability program for its part-time employees. So it's not just pay. Sure, pay is important, and he'd like better pay. But the employees need better benefits also. And there are other parts of the job that they need to organize for. For example, the company requires them to take a job knowledge test every 6 months. If you fail the test, you could lose performance pay. You get written up or lose your job, but no employee has the right to see the test and the answers. Some of the workers have been told they failed the test and would suffer the consequences, but they found out that the test scoring system didn't always work right, and sometimes it failed people who passed the test. He's just working hard to raise his family. He's just trying to make a decent wage. He's just looking for fair treatment. Rasran talked about how Federal Express gives all its employees nice, sharp uniforms, but employees' pockets are empty. They just don't give the employees raises, not until some of the employees tried to organize a union. These workers and thousands more like them deserve better. We had these that commented earlier today over in our committee room, and behind them another 20, Federal Express. These are individuals that need those jobs and talked about their own personal experience, talked about sickness and illness of members of their family, about their children. It's a very difficult thing to do. They were willing to share that, and willing, quite frankly, to take take a good deal of political and moral courage, because there's no question to me that those individuals are going to be targeted. I hope not. I hope I'm wrong. But we will watch very closely those workers who are loyal, dedicated to Federal Express. Each and every one of them indicated their dedication to Federal Express, but that they wanted fairness and decency in the workplace to deal with some of these grievances. And they wanted at least the opportunity to be able to see if they could convince other members to be able to join a union. Maybe they could not, but they were trying to play by the rules of the game that are defined under the National Labor Relations Act. And their case is moving ahead since 1991. But after this amendment that we're talking about here on the floor of the United States Senate, effectively you're wiping out their efforts to play by the rules. Men and women that have been served in Vietnam, have been working since childhood, who have children, playing by the rules, but nonetheless the big company comes in, planning to expand its trucking operation, trying to get an inside deal, trying to get an inside advantage. One company benefits, and his name is Federal Express. And we are being asked to go ahead and continue with that, which is no more technical than a man in the moon. CRS recognizes it, the administration recognizes it, the House members who are members of this committee recognize it, and any fair reading of the history of this measure and the actions that were taken would understand that as well. These workers and thousands more like them deserve better. They deserve the right to decide for themselves whether and how they want to organize and deal with their employer. They should be allowed to join with other federal employees in their area to form a union to protect their interests. There's no reason whatever for Congress to intervene on the side of management to block that effort. Make no mistake about it, that is what this is about. Tilting the scales for management. That's what the purpose is, Mr. President, to give them a leg up against those workers. Federal Express is determined to deny these Pennsylvania workers and other groups of employees in other states across the country the right to organize on a local basis. That's what this anti-worker rider is all about. So I say shame on Federal Express for their pursuing this, and our members of Congress for the final hours for including it. Let's fight to reject the cloture and reject this special interest rider and permit employees of this company to decide for themselves whether and how to bargain with their employer. The aviation bill will pass in a second once this anti-labor rider is removed. There is no threat whatever to the aviation bill. The Republican Senate is knee-deep in Republican hypocrisy as Republican senators talk about the importance of the aviation bill. We all agree on its importance. What we don't agree on is that this bill should be used by the Republican leadership in the House and Senate to sneak through into law special interest anti-work payoff to Federal Express at the expense of the corporations deserving and long-suffering employees.